No, I don't like to do that.
Welcome to Dirty T Podcast. This is your girl V Savage in the building, and we are talking about communication today. We have Steppa.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Fan
for having me.
fave.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Okay. All right.
And VO Ice.
What's
Yo,
up? What's
Ice.
up?
And we got A Marquise in the building.
Yo.
Yo, we just went to see Maya, and A Marquise was headlining for her. It was an amazing show. Amazing. How did y'all like it? How'd you feel about it?
I was nervous, but once I got on stage, I felt like I was home.
You were in the zone.
Yeah, I was.
You were definitely in the zone.
Yeah, it was definitely a vibe in that building.
Yeah, definitely.
it was
And I love the
definitely-
covers that you did. Yeah.
I felt like
it was
covers
good
catch
choices.
People, so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was a good time. And so today we're going to be talking about communication, whether it's with your partner or just in general, just like tips on more effective, healthy communication. We're trying to stay away from the toxic, the toxic vibes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I have like some tips. We're going to go one by one, and I just want to get y'all feedback on this. So
Okay.
I had, Googled, effective tips, and number one was use eye contact. Do you guys use eye contact when you talk to people?
Yes, I do it all the time, and I just actually had a conversation with my son about doing the same thing, because when he in trouble with me, and like me and him talk, he always looked down, and I used to be like, "Why you looking down? Don't look down." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You talk to somebody, you look at them, because it makes you almost feel like you're like I'm belittling you, like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're afraid of me, like in a way. So I always do. I've been taught that since I was young. I always look a person in the eye when you talk to them.
What about you, Leo Weiss?
I say, as an introvert, I've had to be more conscious about it. It doesn't come natural to me. Mm-hmm. I do, like you said about your son, tend to sometimes look down, not be right at somebody's face, because I almost feel like I'm being a little too overpowering if I am. But I've had to be more conscious about picking my head up and looking at you when I'm talking to you. Even like when it's certain situations where I'm like at a cash register or something, instead of looking down at my phone, I'm looking at the cashier.
Right.
So
Yeah.
What about you, A. Marquise?
I agree. I just feel like, because if you're not looking at me, I kind of can't tell if you're paying attention or not.
Exactly.
that's true.
Like, so I just feel like, look me out of the eye. Plus, I can tell if you're lying if you look me out of the eye.
Nah.
Maybe that's why some
feel
people
that's
look
why-
down.
Right, exactly.
Maybe that's where it
Exactly.
comes from,
When
you know?
people lie to you, you could see that they look away a lot, or they just you could look at them like
Yeah,
this.
their
this
body
motherfucker,
move- their body-
he lying. You know what I'm saying?
Their body language
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Unconsciously.
That's how, I know, FBI, and they get trained on that, as how to tell if you're lying by how your eye movements are. I want to say it's like if you look up or something. I don't know. It was something crazy that I heard. But for me, it's annoying, and it makes me feel like what I'm saying isn't valued when someone's like looking at a phone when you're talking to them.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Nah, we on the same page. I can't stand that.
Yeah, right.
I literally want to smash the phone.
Yeah,
Like,
what you looking at your phone for? Like,
exactly.
even when I go inside a restaurant, and like now, like this is so like disrespectful to me when I go in restaurants, and like the people that serve it on their phone or something, or like the person that you telling you, or like go to the register, they on their phone, you be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? They look up. I
Right.
think having your phone at work or something like that, it just gives me like a vibe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're ignoring me a bit. I don't think you should, have that like that at work. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Have you guys ever been on a date and the girl is not getting off her phone?
that's dumb.
Absolutely. Listen, I was when I first started talking to the person I'm talking to now, she couldn't stay off her phone. I was just like, look, if you want to be with me, stay off your phone. But I'm not even gonna lie. Later in time, I was on my phone. Mm-hmm. Like it was like last week, to be honest. I was on my phone the whole time. She was like, "Now I see how you felt." I was like, I was lying, but I was like, it's a lesson. I was low key selling Maya tickets, but I was just like, yo, see, this is a lesson. Like, stay off your phone, because I rarely do it.
And that's something that needs to be communicated if you're working. There are a lot of people where they have to be on their phones for work.
Right, and which is all respected.
Right. But you have to make sure you're communicating that
Right.
and saying, listen, I apologize, but I'm working right now and I'll carve time out for you later to give you my undivided attention, I think.
That's a whole different conversation.
Absolutely.
That's a whole separate conversation.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. I tried that.
Right. It's sad you could do a whole episode just on that.
On that alone. Absolutely.
It's pretty sad. But
especially
it's
with a lot of industries being online or a lot of things being work from home, it just opens up the door where a phone is just so much more necessary in certain industries and businesses. It just is what it is.
Actually, while we're on the subject, there are people who do TikToking and social media as their source of income, or they're just trying to promote whatever it is that they're hustling. That in itself, sometimes I know I have a family member who she, that's how she hustles. She has to be always posting, always online, always doing stories, and it got in the way of her dating life because they thought it was disrespectful.
The notifications will take over.
Right.
I mean, you watched me just put my watch in my pocket. Because literally I'm having my first viral video and it's been going nonstop for the last 2-3 days.
Oh, yep.
I cannot stop it.
Congrats.
The comments and
He
the
got
likes.
on a million
The comments.
hits.
You got a million
it's
hits?
at 2
A
million.
million hits.
I woke up this morning
last
to 2
night.
million.
To 2 million?
Literally over and I'm like, God,
way.
really?
What,
Leave
TikTok?
on Instagram.
Oh, Instagram?
I just posted a random video. We were literally driving in New Britain and chick was driving in front of us on the back of a moped, and let's just say Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's literally nonstop right now.
And what was the song that you posted with it? Because that's what makes it funny.
Lean on me.
Lean on me.
That boy got on them. Lean on me.
I got to see that. I got to see
And
that.
It was
song.
hilarious.
but that's exactly what happens. So now I'm learning how, in real time, how it goes when you get
Right.
something viral. It's literally like you can't control it now.
You can't control it.
You cannot control it.
So
once
the
it gets,
notifications
I noticed.
must be
So once I got
insane.
past about the 250,000 views mark, it literally was like, put your hands up and just let it go. I'm at work and literally, I've had this watch on probably. I got up at 2:30. It's dead. It's about to die because it won't stop.
What, it
That's
keeps alerting
crazy.
you when some...
Every single, it'll
Yeah,
literally
it
be
works
back to
every
back
time
to
somebody
back to back to back
comments.
to
Oh,
back.
okay.
You
to
got
back to back
8,000
to back.
comments. You get
Likes.
that thing beeping 8,000
Just-
times.
Oh, man.
That would
that's
drive me
that
crazy.
drive me what?
All my devices are just
And then you hate it
nonstop.
when you get one of the viral videos, because I had one too on Facebook like 3 years ago, and I had some comments where it was like led to arguments, and it was like,
Oh, that's
oh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I had one of those on. Actually, this will date me. MySpace, where two of my exes
No, man.
went at it.
You said what?
Two of my exes went at it on
Oh,
my
yeah?
comment box, and I had to turn off the notifications at work because it was just. And I mean, even my best friend at the time he commented and he was like, "Yo, I had to turn off the notifications because it just wouldn't leave me alone."
Oh, right. Because then the person
Right.
that commented
Yeah,
is getting all those
Yep.
notifications too. That drives me insane.
But I will say, one more thing. When you do go viral, it's because when Facebook, when you get paid, when you start getting paid for like you guys were saying, they actually tell you how many times you have to post.
Yeah,
Oh,
They
Oh,
tell you have to
really?
post one or
Right.
2 times. They tell you have to post 1 or 2 times a
Oh,
day
that
to
makes sense,
continue
though.
to get paid.
right. So
Oh, yeah?
I mean,
Right.
if you're basically working for Facebook, as influencer.
Yeah.
You got to stay on top of your business.
It's a full-time job.
It becomes a completely full-time job.
Yeah.
After a while, like managing all those insights and everything.
Yeah, because they tell you how many insights you got to get, how many likes you have to get.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
everything.
Wow.
So if you got a video and it didn't get enough likes, you got to post another one.
Right.
And hope that
Right.
they combine to get
bring
enough likes for the
right.
for the week.
Yeah.
You're fighting
know.
for attention. That's what it comes down to. You're fighting for attention of everybody else that's fighting for the same attention on.
Right.
On that
so
post
where's
video.
the time for your partner and all that?
Yeah, I know,
There
that's
is
what
no
I'm
time.
saying.
You better
That's
off
why
being
it be
single.
couples. That's why couples is popping on TikTok right now.
Right.
It's a
Because
couple.
they're doing it together.
Yeah, they're like,
you
yo,
know,
listen,
so it's different.
Just do it with me. Like,
Right. Exactly.
I don't know what humanity coming to though. If we all like stuck in our phones like that, like
It's true.
you're not even in reality. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's crazy. Now they got the metaverse come. Like I don't even understand what the future looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like even the kids, especially like my kids, like, they stay on their phone. Like
Stay on the
it
phone.
just stay there. Like and
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And the phone's raising them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy. It's like really having a kid and letting them out into the world to just walk around and do anything. You know what I mean? Because they could go anywhere with them phones and meet. It's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I have
You
to
know what I'm
text my
saying?
kids when dinner's ready. Like
Oh,
yeah,
see what I'm saying?
outside at the same
Yeah, you know what I
door,
mean?
man.
That's
they
Like,
have
crazy.
their earbuds in, so they
Yeah,
can't
they
hear
can't
me
hear what's
if I'm
going on.
knocking on their door or
That's
whatever.
crazy.
Like,
That's crazy.
and I don't want to walk into no shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I
mean?
got teenagers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to walk in. My son,
Sit
you
your
know what I
nuts
mean?
You might walk
He
in on
going
American
nuts.
Pie.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
American Pie.
And then spilling his milk.
I
My
don't
son
need
being
to
here
see that.
spilling his milk or something. We don't need that.
Ooh. Crusty
You know what I'm
socks.
saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
we
man.
used to be outside back in the day. Man.
Yeah, I know. They
What
that.
happened? We used to be outside
Yeah,
all the time.
someone just posted like the scabbed up knee, like the
Yeah.
youth will never know what this is, and I'm like looking at all my scars that I have from being young. My leg got stuck in a bicycle and shit,
Yeah,
and like
none of that.
I'm like, those were the best times.
The bicycle
None of that.
industry.
That
took-
metal bicycle pedal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, shit. We stayed with the
I get
butterfly
pains
bandages
looking at a picture
home.
of one of those.
What? Who you telling? Oh my God.
All right, number 2, practice active listening. Are you actually listening to what people are saying to you?
Oh yeah,
Are
I
you
do.
taking it in?
Yeah. But a lot of people listen to respond. They
Right.
don't listen to hear
Yeah.
and try to see your point or to see like maybe what they saying maybe might be right. Maybe it is something. You listen for that one thing. Oh, I got something for that. Oh, you said what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll take that. You won't even hear the rest. Like,
Right.
But you said like that's you didn't even get. You know what I'm saying? You listen to respond. That's a problem. Rather than listen to understand. You know what I mean?
Golf clap.
Yeah.
Snaps for
He
Steppa.
is preaching.
Yeah. Seriously.
Like I feel like, especially when you're arguing with your significant other, in my case, like I feel like when you're arguing, they already have a response to what you're saying, and they didn't even listen to what you're saying.
Yeah,
Right.
You're like, yo, you had this response already ready. Like, you didn't even listen to anything I said, did you?
They're literally waiting for you to trigger that response.
Yeah.
Yup.
Or they're not listening because they're thinking of the response.
Right.
I find
Yup,
myself doing that. Like I already know this is gonna turn into an argument. So as he's talking, I'm just like, what am I gonna respond to this?
Yeah.
Like, and that keeps me from listening to what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem, and I'm more aware of it now because I was like that. I was a professional at that. Look for the one little hiccup, like, oh no, that part right there, I got something for that. Oh, you said what? All the other stuff could have been 100% true, but you slipped up and said that one thing. Like, oh, I got him. You know what I mean?
Yup.
And it's like, you know what I
Yup.
mean?
Yeah.
You waiting for that slip. It's like boxing. You
I
waiting
mean,
for
even,
the,
It is
especially,
boxing.
especially,
Yeah,
us,
boxing.
Yeah.
especially us as males, we
Yeah.
really got to be on point with it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if we got to catch that one thing that we're right about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that we know undeniably, you're wrong about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I got to hold on to that.
Yeah. Yep. You right. You know you wrong when you find something like, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Got it.
Got it.
Yeah, because you know we be in them situations a lot. We be like, damn, she right.
Yeah, she right like a motherfucker. Yeah, she right. Yeah, you
But when
right.
she wrong, you be like, yes.
Mhm.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, y'all gotta hold on to that.
Hold on to it.
for the next 10 arguments. But I was right about this one time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
And it has to be undeniable.
Yeah.
Undeniable.
There can't be any room for
No room
different
for
interpretation
at all.
Yeah,
Absolutely
not.
I hold it mostly though. I'll just be like, okay, and then I'll wait for her to trigger it again. I'm like, so remember last time?
Yeah.
But that's also why you also have to repeat what they're saying to you. Like, I'm hearing you say this, because then you can make sure you heard them correctly and that you interpreted it correctly, because there is way too much gray area when it comes to interpretation.
My only issue with that is I hate when they repeat themselves like 5 or 6 times.
It shouldn't be 5 or 6 times.
I get what you're saying, but I'm like, yo, you're saying this, and then she'll just repeat the same thing she just said. I'm like, yeah, but it's like that can be took in many different ways. You need to go in detail a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. See, me, I'm a little different. I'm actually a ninja at that. Because I will literally repeat it to you 3-4 times and give you a chance to recant your statement. Mm-hmm. If I'm repeating it to you, you better believe I got something firing at that ass for you afterwards. I'm going to be like, you sure that's what it is? You sure that's what it is? Mm-hmm. You sure that's what it is? All right. You got 10 seconds to revert that statement. You sure that's what it is? All right, then I'm gonna light your ass on fire. I'm gonna light your ass on fire.
See, me, I'm a little different. My memory is crazy. So you'll say something to me, and I'll be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Take it all in. And then, like, we'll talk about it. I'll bring it back up, like, 4 or 5 months later. And you'll say, I just did that shit, too, the other day. And I bring it back up, and they'll say something
with
different.
Extra pieces,
yeah,
right?
I said, man, you just said last time, but when?
Oh yeah.
What? I didn't. You said that. I'm telling you what you said. Like, I don't forget. I do that. Like, if I feel like they're lying, I'll be like, all right. And then I ask them. I let it settle like I done been past it. Pop it back up 6 months later. Mm-hmm. And some old weird. They be like, yo, you's a maniac. Well, who does that? who brings it? I'm like,
apparently, there's more to people.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they can't tell me anything. Especially when you know. There's a lot of shit up there.
When you know you in a conversation, I have a lot better memory than you.
Yeah,
so especially when I tell you.
It's like in the original conversation, I knew your story didn't line up.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm waiting for you to slip up. Yeah. And then when you try to tell a story again, you ain't gonna remember.
You ain't gonna remember what you said to me. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm talking more of a context, like if a woman or anybody, if someone's saying what their issue is, like why they're upset or why they're sad, you're like, okay, this is what I'm hearing you say. Is that correct? Like, am I getting this right? This is what's upsetting you, type of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that in a case like that, like if I'm listening to hear how you feel about a situation, I'm all ears. Mm-hmm. I'm all ears, and I actually, being an introvert and being the personality type that I am, I'm always here to resolve. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a sponge for other people's emotions. Many people tell me you give way too much to people, but that's just who I am. So if I'm in a conversation with my significant other and I'm trying to figure out how to resolve this, I'm all ears and trying to figure out how I can fix the situation. Right. So by doing that, I need to know how you're feeling and what went wrong.
Right. Because at the end of the day, if you resolve it then and there, it shouldn't have to come up later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
But why do these situations keep coming up? Like, the thing that bothers me the most is having the same argument over and over. Obviously, you either just can't see my point of view. We don't have to agree. I think a lot of people just get that mixed up. Oh, by me understanding you means I have to agree with you. No, you just have to understand my point of view and why I have that point of view.
Yeah.
And that alone can fix a lot of situations.
A lot. Almost everything.
Y'all talking right now, man. Y'all preaching.
Yeah, because people see things different. People don't understand that.
Exactly.
Like, right now, something could just fall. Boom, that could fall. You'll see it away, and then you be like, but I'm starting to know that now. Like, people really see things different. You know what I mean? Like, something could happen, and you'll explain it a whole different way. And I'm starting to understand that. You know, when I talk to people, like I have a dispute with somebody, and I listen to them, and then I kind of listen like, okay, maybe I could see how they maybe could see that like that, or how they view that like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I'm not aware of, how I move, and to myself, I'm not doing nothing wrong. But you know what I mean? To them, they're like, but if, just look, the way I'm like, oh, damn, you right. Because I'm used to just doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? And that just got brought to my attention. Like, you don't think you should have told me that you was, I was like, nah, because I just was doing. But I was like, okay, I could see how that could make you feel away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just understanding that everybody don't think and feel the way you feel. So you got to be conscious of that.
Right.
Yeah.
You really do.
And they also may not see your reasoning behind why
exactly.
you did what you did.
Exactly.
You may have a whole nother reason that served this purpose over here.
Right.
But because it took you away from what the purpose they were trying to serve, they didn't understand why you did this.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
if you explain the purpose you were trying to serve, they're like, oh, okay, now I see why you did that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Especially
exactly.
when you're just getting to know someone.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
And then there's times where you've been with the person a long time and they pretend like you don't know them. Like, I've been with you forever. I know exactly how you're going to react to this and I know exactly why. And they're like, oh, I'm not doing that. Well, you are doing that. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but, you know, you guys probably... Most guys don't watch this show, but I love watching Married at First Sight. And it's because you learn, but I know most guys are like, oh, who wants to see that? But like,
I watched it too. The girl had me watching that.
you learn so
never seen
much from it though. Like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, my man's looking at me laughing because I start crying. And instead of you asking me, why are you crying? Why is that making you sad?
Why is it
he's just
triggering
like,
emotional?
Yeah, he's just like laughing like, oh, you're such a softie and da-da-da-da. Yes, I'm a softie. It's hard for me to see other people cry because I'm an emotional person, but that's not what I'm crying. I'm crying because it's resonating something in me. Like, I can understand where this woman's coming from because, and I want to get your feedback on this. There's this woman, she's super hyper. She seems like a lot. And her husband he tried to say it in a nice way. He's like, you're super hyper. And she goes, you're rude. And da-da-da. And she just caused this whole, like, yelling and screaming, and I'm done with you, like, because you don't think about my feelings. Now, for the average person, calling somebody hyper is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But he didn't know her well enough to understand that, like, her mother used to talk down to her and tell her she was worthless and she's too much and this and that. And so that's where that was coming from. Yeah, but he didn't know that. He's just like, why is she tripping? Because I called her hyper.
Yeah.
Right.
When that happens, you should understand it got to be something deeper.
It's got to be something deeper.
Yeah, it's
That's why people do that. I be like, okay, I know it ain't just that. It's something deeper.
That's why I
It's
kind of
something
let it
deeper.
rock when it does, because I feel like if I keep my cool,
Yeah.
then she'll kind of be like, he kept his cool, so let me kind of explain why I felt the way I felt.
Yeah.
Because if I go off and then she says
Right.
why, then I'm going to feel bad. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That's why I just be like, I'm going to just hold this one.
Yeah.
And then when she tell me, then I'll respond accordingly after that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, as long as you're, like, asking those questions, like, why is this a trigger for you?
Right.
Or,
Yeah, facts. Like, I'll ask, but if she don't want to talk, I feel like in certain situations, you don't want to immediately talk about it.
Yeah.
right.
Right,
That's
and
true.
it may, especially when you're first getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
It
It's
may
hard to
not
be vulnerable,
Their
yeah.
guards may not be down enough to let you know,
Right.
and they might not even, on the surface, understand why they're that until they really dive deep into themselves and figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
True. I agree. I definitely agree. 'Cause I be saying that all the time. You say something like, damn, why they start crying?
Like, why were you
I ain't
triggered
even
so
say nothing
fast
like
by that? You
You know
know?
what I'm saying? Like, God damn, like, what's going on? Like, even Will Smith smacking this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? That was a dumb little joke. Like, why you...
Right.
Something else is going on with you,
Obviously.
bro.
But I mean,
Yeah, there's
what
something else
we
going
can
on.
see
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the time of things that have gone on the surface that we've seen, that obviously their situation ain't as glorious as we all thought Will and
Right.
Jada
Yeah,
were
yeah.
for the longest time. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I looked at them as like they're the one couple that ain't got nothing going on. They're the
Oh, they
the
had
role
the
model.
worst stuff
They-
going
But then
on.
behind scenes, it was
Yeah,
a
they did.
total deep. When you deeply dove into
Yeah.
it, there was a whole lot going on
That's
that
what I'm
none of us
saying.
knew about.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think on Will's end, because you gotta understand, him and Chris are close
Yeah.
Right.
for a long time. So when you go to your boy about certain things, and then your boy goes on stage and naturally kind of like
Yeah.
puts you down, you're like, oh, bro, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think you would say something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
anybody
Right.
else could say
Yeah.
something, but
Right.
you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you
Right.
personally should know our situation and know
That's-
not to
right.
trigger it.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
again, it was like, that's an example of something deeper going on. Because we from the outside, they're like, damn, he just said that. That ain't even nothing. But that's just an example of like how people could be going through deeper things and then react to something. You're like, what the
Minute,
hell?
and
Yeah,
something-
and then blow up.
I just
huge
didn't
shit.
expect him to get on stage like that.
Right.
And he slapped him
Yeah.
stupid. Like when he did
Slapped
his
him
hands, like looked
stupid.
dumb. Like the way he,
I think overall,
the way his
if,
arm was, it's like, I thought it was.
If you
like,
look
what was
at
that?
what-
like somebody was controlling you.
if
with a
you look at
remote?
what Will's been going through, though, like I understood
dumb,
personally
yo.
because I look at him, I'm like, yo, he got publicly humiliated.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Jada did too much with the whole when you the whole August thing came out, and you embarrassed him on national television. Like, oh, I'm gonna put you on national
Yeah,
television, do a
they've
whole
been
interview about
battling
it. It's
those
like,
rumors
bruh.
for a long time.
It's like, bro, why
Yeah.
would you do that on a national stage?
Right.
Like, we
Yeah.
should have handled this in private before you went out
Yeah.
in public and handled it.
They've been getting digged at over that whole August Alsina
What?
thing for months. So to dig something that personal when they're still healing from that
Right.
situation, and even just Will's issues with sex in general, like he just, not that long ago came out about that, and that's already another thing they have to overcome because people don't understand what that's about.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
throwing up when you're
Do I think
ejaculating,
Jada's
like,
What? He said that?
Yeah.
He said he throws up when he's ejaculating?
Yeah, he rejects.
He ain't- Will Smith
He
ain't say-
rejects.
he ain't say that.
His
Nah,
body
he
rejects
did, he
it
did.
because he has
said that?
issues
Yeah.
with sex in general. From all the sex that he's had, it's kind of like, I guess,
His body is out of sync.
yeah, but he's like traumatized some way from it, and I didn't see the interviews, so like I don't know
I'm
all
gonna
the
have
details.
to check that
Throws
interview
up.
out.
But
So, and the thing that makes it worse is Jada had interviews like straight downing Will, and like somebody like, why would you say that about your husband? Like she'll say some things like publicly, you'll be like, why would you say that publicly?
Right.
Like,
I don't understand how he. That's another thing. She's so like I feel like she doesn't take his feelings into consideration at all when she speaks
Right.
about their marriage.
Nope.
And the fact that she does her open relationships publicly, knowing it's going to surface, like, have some respect for your marriage. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
that's fair.
And when he tries to protect her in every way, like, no matter what, if she's in the right or wrong, like, he's always protecting her in their marriage.
Because even with the slap, she was like, yeah, I felt like Will was absolutely in the wrong. And I was like, you weren't going to back him in any aspect?
Nothing.
I was like, when you look on camera, it looked like you told him to do it, first of all.
Yeah,
I was like,
you just
so-
see her look like devastated and hurt, and I don't blame him for like reacting and not thinking about it.
Right.
But then when you come on ass, you're like, yeah, I never told him to do that. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
she's
yeah,
like
you was
throwing
just
him
doubting
under the
him, bro.
bus, like.
Damn.
Which brings me to the other tips were to use a gentle voice when you're talking, especially if it's something that's could escalate, or
That'll work.
being cautious as to what you're saying and how you're saying it, basically. Why you look like that?
I know.
Feel
I
like
know.
You got a little something going on. Yeah, a little.
I've been trying to.
You're trying to get
I'm trying to get it off.
It's sitting there like this. Like, it was sitting there like.
I'm crying. I was like, I'm trying to get
Yeah,
it off
okay.
without
You
like.
got it. You got
Well, we
it.
ain't on camera yet, so.
Yeah.
exactly why. But do you guys think about what you say before you say it, or does it just blah,
All right, that part I agree with.
word vomit?
But the way you say it,
Yeah.
I think that's hard. Like,
It
it's
depends on
hard.
what they say.
Yeah,
Like,
it
sometimes
depends on what
you
they
you
can
can
say
say
and how they
something
tell it.
crazy, and you'll just sound like what? Depends on what it is, but most of the time I'm able to keep calm. But
Yeah.
depends on what it is. Though you say something crazy, like I don't know.
With the calm voice part, yeah.
Especially if you come at me
Me
aggressively.
being, like I
Yeah.
said, me being an introvert, I start off that way.
Right.
But I mean, I've done personality tests that have proven this. I am an introvert / extrovert, and the fine line is like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've told people many times, don't get me to that point because you will not recognize me. It's very far to
That's
get me to that
from
point.
holding it in.
But
though.
once you get me to, and that's what
Me
a lot
too,
of us
yeah,
introverts
that's
do.
the same exact
a lot
thing,
of us
man.
introverts
That's how I am.
hold
That's crazy.
everything in, and then when it comes, it's like a floodgate.
Yeah, and they be like, what's
But
wrong with him?
I used to do the same thing that you do because people used to tell me, like, pick your battles. Don't
Right.
bicker over every single thing
Right.
that upsets you. However,
Then you're not.
there's a way to
communicating.
communicate it without bickering about it. And that's
Exactly.
where it's like changing the tone of voice versus sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, I asked you to do this. Why isn't it done yet?
Right.
There's a different way I could approach that. But it's like shaking up a soda bottle because it's going to explode eventually once it gets opened. And that's not good for anybody. That's where Velvet comes out. You don't want to see Velvet.
But it seems like sometimes people react better to what you want when you get like that. You could be saying nice, like, why don't you do that? And talk calm, and then all of a sudden it don't. And then once you snap, it's like, it's crazy. It's like you got to have a balance of it because it's like, I don't know. It's like sometimes you talk to people like that, they kind of take
Especially with your kids.
Yeah, like you be like, yo, can you just go do that? Then once you snap, could you? And they don't. Oh, okay. Now why you ain't do it when I just was saying it nice, calm? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
because
Right, we
kids
could have
take
did this
advantage.
the easy way, and now
Yeah, you know
bring
what I
it to
mean?
the hard way.
That's
But I mean,
crazy.
even significant others get you that
Yeah.
way too, because they so focused on this and that, the third, and then all of a sudden, when you get out of character, then they're
Yeah.
okay. I'll take care of it. Jeez,
Right.
Yeah.
we couldn't just do this the easy way.
Yeah. I don't know.
I will stay quiet at this comment.
No, I
Nah,
can
man, you
feel
wasn't quiet
from
all
across
weekend,
the
bro.
room
You
that
wasn't quiet all
You
weekend,
have
so go
something
on,
to
bro.
say on this, so please share.
So I feel
I'm
like
gonna grab my tea to this one.
so I'm gonna be honest. I tried to be patient. I just try to be patient. I feel like I'm gonna just say, I'm not gonna say all females, but I say a good amount of them sometimes just say certain things. I feel like they just want to see you like that, to be honest. Like they'll say certain things and you're like, all right, I'm gonna stay quiet for now. But then they're like, nah, say what you need to say. I can tell you need to say. I'm like, I'm trying to stay quiet for a reason. So if I'm quiet, let me be quiet. Nope. Okay, if that's what you want. Like, I personally, it's hard for me to hold in my emotions at times, just because. For a while, I was, believe it or not, I was the quiet kid. I was the kid who kind of just was. People come at me, but I wouldn't say anything. I was, I'm just let it rock. But then, music came along, so I would start singing my emotions at first. But I feel like because you can't be in the studio 24/7. So at some point, you have to respond regularly.
Right.
I'm now the emotional guy because I just let it off on the spot. Even if I shouldn't, I don't really fully think. I kind of just be like, no, I'm going to just let it off, and then whatever happens, happens. Which is as soon as yesterday even happened. I'm just like, I'm just going to let this off, and whatever happens, happens. If I'm a single man after this, then so be it. It is what it is. Like, I got to let it off, because if I hold it in, and then it come back into fruition, it's going to be even worse.
Man.
Right.
Yeah, it's good to let it out, man. I had to learn that too, and I'm still struggling with that because some things you don't be wanting to say, and like to me it's weird. I don't be want to like embarrass. It's a weird feeling, you know what I mean? But holding it in, I started to feel how it was affecting me. You know what I mean? Like hold it because it's more and more you hold it in, and all of a sudden it just. So I definitely got better with that because that was my problem, holding it in, just certain things, unless it's something that's way crazy, but stuff that. And then I got friends that let everything out. Sometimes I'd be like, damn, I wish I could just be like that. He just say what he want to say.
Listen,
You know
I
what
say
mean?
that to some of my friends all the
Yeah,
time. I'm
just-
like, I wish I could just open my mouth and say the
Say
things
like how
you
you
say
say.
sometimes.
It's
'cause
crazy.
I would just be so much more happier of a person.
I know we can all relate to this one.
And here's the catch, and not feel some type afterwards when I
they don't
do.
feel no way. They just
Right,
be
they just
saying,
keep
like,
continuing.
man, I be embarrassed for the person. Like, whoa, you just said what?
Like, especially when we was kids, we be feeling that. Like, you
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
one kid who let it off of their mom, you be like, yeah, I wish I could speak to my mom like that. But then you
it's
like,
crazy.
yeah, my mom's not your mom.
Not
so
having
like,
that.
we not having that. Like,
Not at all.
My mom throwing the shoe before I
Like,
finish the
my
last
mom
sentence.
will whoop your ass for talking to your mother like that, and then
That
come and
ain't
whoop
going.
my ass for being around you.
Yeah, that ain't going.
Right.
I ain't going.
For not saying something to you about it.
Right. And
That's what I
also
have.
body language. You got to be mindful of your body language because that can say something different than what you're actually feeling if you're not conscious of it.
Yeah,
That's one thing
I
I'm
do
not.
that very.
I had to work on that too.
I will say something to you, and my body language will look at you. I don't even gotta say nothing. People are like, "What?" I'm like, "What? I didn't say nothing." No, but your body said it. Everything I needed to say. Your face said everything I needed to see.
And that's me too.
Yeah.
I can't control my body language at all.
No,
You'll see it all over my face now
My
if
face
I'm
will
upset
cuss
or whatever.
you out.
And yeah. So
you can't hide that.
and it's also important, and this is something I need to work on, making sure your partner feels more appreciated, you know.
Yeah.
All right, I have a lot to say about that.
And I can say, especially in the being a musician, and in our industry, and just being an entrepreneur as whole, you know, I mean, you can attest to this. It just takes up so much of your time. A lot of times you're doing it for the right reason, and that's your reason is because you appreciate them. But if you don't speak it, they don't see it, they don't hear it, they don't understand it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they just feel ignored.
Yeah.
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 What about you, Marquise? You itching over there.
Okay. This is what I'm going to say. Since we brought up our significant others. All right. First of all, I feel like that's a fact, but like you shouldn't tell me how much I should appreciate something. If I appreciate it, then like I'm going through the situation now where the person I was or whatever I want to call it dealing with felt like I should have done something even though I got a better opportunity in the long run. So I felt like this is something that we could do at any point. So I said, I'm going to hold off on it.
Okay.
So the person went and did something they shouldn't have done. And now we're in a situation we're in now where she's like, oh, you don't appreciate me. So I did it myself. Okay. Why did you have me do it myself if you could have done it yourself and we could have done it together? Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, almost like you made me feel like you deserve something more than I do. So I have to explain the situation for like he knows the situation, so he knows what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to say the situation directly because she'll probably watch this episode and body me. So actually, no, I'll put it.
Come on with it.
I'm gonna come with it. So
Come on with it.
we were supposed to do like this weekend getaway thing, but I got the Maya show and I got like many opportunities out here that I got.
Right.
So I said,
this weekend is literally flooded.
yeah, like Friday, Saturday, it's flooded. So I felt like we could do a weekend getaway at any point. And I got a job opportunity on Monday also. So I said we could do a weekend getaway at any point. So she went out of her way and got her own weekend getaway to the same place her ex-boyfriend is going, and wants me to believe that that's not a coincidence. I'm like, okay, like
You could have went anywhere. Why are you
but
going
then
to the same
exactly,
place?
and then she texted me and just asked me for.
How do you
spending
know
money.
her ex? Oh, she told you her ex-boyfriend.
She told me this
Yeah,
before,
right.
Oh.
And then she slipped up like Thursday and was like, yeah, so I'm going to Florida. I was like, didn't you say ex-boyfriend was going to Florida on Friday? Oh, no, he's going on Saturday. I was like, nah, you told me Friday. I have very good memory.
Right
of
back
this.
to the
you go.
right back to the
I
memory.
remember that.
Right back to the memory part, right? You know what I mean?
And I was like, you've been saying you're single since I said we're not going to this getaway. I said, so you're saying you're not single. You're going to the same place as your ex. I said, you don't really look good in this situation right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you asking me for a lot of belief in this situation, and you're claiming you're single. So you shouldn't be asking me for spending money anyways. You're single. Go do you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yo, I paid for everything. So I felt like if you would have said whatever money you did supposedly spend, if you sat there and said, yo, let me give you a little bit because you paid for everything and I'll just go on my own, that's different. I said, I still would have let you rock. That's fine. If you sat there and said, I'm gonna give you a little bit of the money, but she didn't even say that. Like that didn't come to mind at all. So I'm kind of like, you're single when you come back. Cause she was like, I'm single until I get back. I'm like, no, you single when you get back, and we'll talk later. Like,
Exactly.
like this is not a. I'm gonna do what I want for the weekend, and I'm gonna come back to you. Like that's not how this works. I was like, damn, you're single when you get back. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Right.
if I feel like answering your text, I'll answer.
How long y'all been rocking with each other for?
We've only been rocking for like 6 months. We shouldn't even be going through this right now. But she just feel
That's
like
a decent amount of time.
yeah. But for some reason but to her standard, so her definition of together and my definition are different. I feel like when you talking, you're somewhat together because you're the only person I'm focused on. That's how I think. The way she thinks is when you're talking, you can do whatever you want until you're officially together. I feel like that's a false.
Well, that's everybody.
That's
Everybody
a gray
has
area.
different-
There
Yeah,
has
it is a gray
Everybody
area.
has a different right.
Like she'll tell you like all the lies that she told before we were talking don't mean nothing, but all the lies told in the relationship mean more. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Nah, that's a
Like,
character.
I was like,
all
that's a character thing. I was like, you lied back then, you're lying now. I was like, so you can't really, like, it doesn't matter when you lied, you're still doing it.
Right.
We're gonna do an episode on that. That's a good topic.
Yeah.
How do you know when you're in a relationship and when you're not? What's the definition of just talking? That's a good one.
Yeah. When do you
Write it down. Write it
You
down.
know what I'm saying? You stop doing what you're doing. Like, you just talking to somebody. When do you say, all right, I guess it's time for me to stop doing all this? You know what I mean? You necessarily didn't say I was together, but I don't know. It's a weird, because I'm
Like
in
with
that
me,
situation right now.
Like when I'm talking to somebody, because she knows I don't talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't put my attention to one person barely at all.
We ain't got time for that.
Like, I don't have time.
We
Like,
only
I'm
got
just being
time for
honest.
one. To,
So when I
jump on a
do-
couple- no.
And I told her, I said, I guess it's because you don't know me. When I do, it means something. I said, why do you think all your friends said, now that means something? Because I never do that. Because number one, an artist, I have options, not being cocky, but just the reality.
Right.
Number two, it's just like, there's not a lot of females who could date an artist, like, because we have to go out, do shows, and so on and so on. And you're always going to question, like, I'm a singer, so I'm naturally around a lot of women.
Right.
Like, she got mad at a comment where a dude was like, it's 85% women at the My Show. Okay, I was like, yeah, let's go. That's how we
Maya,
want it.
it's R&B. It's
She was like,
it's
oh,
the nightclub.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
That caused an argument before this vacation. She was like, oh, you shouldn't have liked the comment. Why? You want me to perform in front of a bunch of guys? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is this? So that's why, I mean, like, when it comes to communication, I feel like it's big and just in general.
Yeah.
But in relationships,
I'm even like, listen, I need to communicate who you even are before I even take you serious, because
That's a good
I don't
point
want to
too.
go through all of that.
That is a good
I don't want to
point,
get
too.
6
Facts.
months down the line and find out, like, when we
You're
finally
still saying
start
you're single.
communicating.
You're going on
right?
vacation.
Right.
yeah, right? Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So we're gonna definitely bring everybody back and do part 2 to the communication, because there's a lot to talk about on this one. And stay tuned. Next week we're gonna have Sex Work is Work part 2, because there's so much we didn't hit on the first one that we had to do it again. So listen out for that, and have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.
peace.